Good evening, Facebook Live. How are you this evening? You're back at Crosby Community Church, and we are in week 19 of 40 weeks in the Bible. We're going to read the whole Bible, front to back, and 40 weeks is the goal.
Sweet.
And so we're in week 19, so next week will be 20.
Halfway through.
Halfway through. My guest tonight is, again, Mr. Frank James Henniger, and he'll be reading along with myself this evening. We are in dire need of new readers.
Come on.
I've exhausted all my friends, so if you're tuning in tonight and you're feeling led to come and read with us, we would love to have you. And
Please come. Come on.
Yeah, you don't have to be a great reader. You just have to be willing and able. So that's what we're looking for, is willing servants, willing and able servants. And so tonight we were just talking about retirement, Mr. Frank.
Yeah.
And you're of age. You're retired. How long you been retired now?
A couple of years. I'm 73, so 72. I'll be 73 this year. So a couple of years. I'm not exactly sure how many. But I was a heavy equipment operator for 34 years.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually retired.
Yeah.
I'm serving God every day. Yeah. I was telling Mr. Jack that on Tuesday nights I come here and read the Bible with him. On Wednesday night I attend two different churches. First and third Wednesday I'm at one church. Second and fourth I'm at another church. Doing fourth and fifth graders one week, and then junior high kids the next week. And then on Thursday, I have a whiz kid down at Legacy Church. That's a fun project. I got a seventh grader, and we work together and learn and study and help him with his homework and help him with his Christianity. And then
tell us a little more about Whiz Kids. We can give a little.
Oh, Whiz Kids, yeah.
So
Sherry Bloom and Willissa, Redford. Willissa Redford. They run that program down at Legacy Church on Wednesday night from about 6:30 till about 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And we do homework help, sort of like. We feed the kids a little snack. They do a Bible lesson. The older kids, we get into the Bible and we talk about what's going on in that Bible and how it affects our lives. We go on field trips. We go to La Rosas. We go to the police station, the fire station. We go over to the Creation Museum. And these field trips, we just learn how to do life together. And a great program. Always need volunteers. You don't have to be the smartest cookie in the whole batch. You just have to be willing to serve and go there and be with these kids. And there's elementary all the way up through junior high.
And Whiz Kids, we get a lot of Harrison Elementary, I believe.
A lot of Harrison Elementary kids. Yeah. Most of them are there from Harrison Elementary. You can talk to the teachers, you can talk to the counselors, find out where these kids are, and help them get through that. Yeah, and then on Sunday nights, I attend a Bright Christian Church. I am one of the elders there, and I teach fourth and fifth graders on Sunday morning. But Sunday nights, I have a junior high group of junior high boys. About 10 or 15 of them boys, and we speak into their lives and help teach them. A mission trip. Man, I am just so anxious to go down to Haiti. I've been to Haiti numerous times. Been to Barbados, Ecuador, Honduras, Nicaragua.
Been to Africa.
Africa. I've been all over the place sharing the love of Christ with people, and I'm chomping at the bit to get out there on that mission field. Problem is, you got to quarantine. But that's going to be lifted soon, I'm sure. This COVID is running rampant, and it's getting through everybody. And once it gets through everybody, then it ain't got no place to go. Then we can go on a mission trip, and so I'm excited about that. I want to do that. And so I want to spend as much time as I can in the Word. Tuesday mornings at 7 o'clock, we have an Iron Sharpens Iron men's Bible study at Bright. I attend that. Tuesday night, here I am back in the Bible as many times a week as I can.
You're missing one. You're missing one.
What?
Friday mornings.
Oh, Friday mornings over at the middle school. a Bible study over there.
Yeah.
There's so many
Junior high
opportunities
kids.
to get into this Word. Take an opportunity to find a study and get into the Word. Tonight's a great time. Tonight's, we're just reading the Bible, but there's other studies going on, When this ends, we'll probably start in a study in the book of the Bible or something. I'm sure there's going to be, here at Crosby Community Church, there's something else going to happen. And so get here. We need you. We need you. And so if you're not going to church somewhere, they're having live services here.
Yes, they are.
Live services here, Live and Bright. I think Legacy is. Find one of these churches. Go. You need community. We all need that. So go there and serve, and you'll be blessed. I guarantee it. You'll be blessed.
Thanks for the excitement. That's an advertisement. We don't charge you any extra for Mr. Frank's advertisement. That's a good thing. We are in 1 Chronicles tonight.
1 Chronicles.
We're in the Old Testament. Next week we'll be back in the New Testament. So this will be our last week for the Old Testament. Next week, hopefully we'll have another guest. I'm trying. So
if not, man, I want to try and be here. I want to read. Pick me. I'll go. I'll serve.
All right. Well, here we go.
Okay, 1 Chronicles. The historical records from Adam to Abraham. Wow. To Noah's sons, Adam, Seth, Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah. And the sons of Noah were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the Japhites, the sons of Japheth. It was Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tyrus. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan were Elisha, Tarshish, the Kittites, and the Rodanites. The Hamites, the sons of Ham, Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabata, Rama, and Sabataga. The sons of Rama, Sheba, and Dedan. Cush was the father of Nimrod, who became a mighty warrior on earth. Egypt was the father of the Ludites, Anamites, the Lehabites, Naphtalites, Pathrusites, the Cashurites, from whom the Palestinians came, and the Camphorites. Canaan was the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and of the Hittites, the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, the Arkites, the Sinanites, the Ardavites, the Zemarites, and the Hamathites. The Semites, the sons of Shem, Elam, Ashfur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. And the sons of Aram, Uz, Hul, Gaither, and Meshach. And Aphorax was the father of Shelah, and Shelah the father of Eber. Hold on, let me get my pages. They're sticking together here. Two sons were born to Eber. One was named Peleg, because in his time the earth was divided. His brother was named Joktan. And Joktan was the father of Ammadad, Shelepha, Hazarmaveth, Jerah, Hadoram, Uzal, Diklah, Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. Very fruitful family. Shem, Aphoraxad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Rui, Sereg, Nahor, Terah, and Abraham. This is Abram. This is Abraham. in the family of Abraham, the sons of Abraham, Isaac and Ishmael, and descendants of Hagar. These were their descendants. Nebaioth, the firstborn of Ishmael, Kedar, Adabil, Mibisham, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Napish, and Kadima. These were the sons of Ishmael. And the sons born to Keturah, Abraham's concubine, Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. And the sons of Jokshan, Sheba, and Dedan. And the sons of Midian, Ephah, Ephor, Hanak, Abida, and Elda. All these were the descendants of Keturah. Abraham was the father of Isaac, and the sons of Isaac were Esau and Israel. And the sons of Esau, Eliphaz, Ruel, Jeush, Jalem, and Korah. And the sons of Eliphaz, Teman, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. By Tema, Amalek. The sons of Ruel, Nathan, Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. And the sons of Seir, Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishon. The sons of Lotan were Hori and Homam. Timnah was Lotan's sister. The sons of Shobal were Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shepho, and Onam. And the sons of Zibeon, Ea, and Anna. And the sons of Anna, Dishon. The sons of Dishon, Hemdan, Ishban, Ithron, and Keran. And the sons of Izar, Bilhan, Zavan, and Akan. And the sons of Dishon, Uz, and Aram. These were the kings who reigned in Edom before all Israelite king reigned. Bela, son of Beor, whose city was named Dinahaba. When Bela died, Jobab, son of Zerah from Basra, succeeded him as king. And when Jobab died, Husham from the land of the Temanites succeeded him as king. And when Husham died, Hadad, son of Bedad, who defeated Midian in the country of Moab, succeeded him as king. His city was named Avith. And when Hadad died, Samalah from Masreka succeeded him as king. And when Samalah died, Shaul from Reboth on the river succeeded him as king. And when Shaul died, Baal-Hanan, son of Akbor, succeeded him as king. And when Baal-Hanan died, Hadad succeeded him as king. His city was named Pel. And his wife's name was Methobel, daughter of Matred, the daughter of Sahab. Hadad also died. And the chiefs of Edom were Timnah, Alveh, Jether, Oholamabah, Bama, Elah, Pinion, Kenaz, Teman, Mibzar, Magdiel, and Iram. These were the chiefs of Edom. And these were the sons of Israel: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Ishkar, Zebulun, Dan, Joseph, Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. And the sons of Judah, this is chapter 2, I'm sorry. The sons of Judah were Onan, and Shelah. And these three were born to him by a Canaanite woman, the daughter of Shua. And Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the Lord's sight, so the Lord put him to death. And Judah's daughter-in-law, Tamar, bore Perez and Zerah to Judah. He had 5 sons in all. And the sons of Perez were Hezron and Hamul. And the sons of Zerah were Zimri, Ethan, Heman, Kokal, and Darda. 5 in all. And the son of Carmi, Achar, who brought a trouble on Israel by violating the ban on taking devoted things. The son of Ethan, Azariah. The sons born to Hezron were Jeremiel, Ram, and Caleb. And now Ram was the father of Aminadab, and Aminadab, the father of Nahshon, the leader of the people of Judah. Nahshon was the father of Salom, and Salom the father of Boaz, and Boaz the father of Obed, and Obed the father of Jesse. Oh, Jesse was the father of Eliab, his firstborn. The second was Abinadab, the third Shemiah, the fourth Nathaniel, the fifth Radai, and the sixth Ozam, and the seventh David. And their sisters were Zeruiah and Abigail, and Zuriah's 3 sons were Abishai, Joab, and Ashiel. And Abigail was the mother of Amasa, whose father was Jether the Ishmaelite. And Caleb, son of Hezron, had children by his wife Azubah and by Jerioth, and these were her sons, Jeshur, Shobab, and Ardon. And when Azubah died, Caleb married Epaphrath, who bore him Hur. And Hur was the father of Uri, and Uri the father of Bezalel. Later, Hezron, when he was 60 years old, married the daughter of Machir, the father of Gilead. And he made love to her, and she bore him Segub. And Segub was the father of Jair, who controlled 23 towns in Gilead. But Geshur and Aram captured Havoloth Jair, as well as Kenath, with its surrounding settlements, 60 towns. And all these were descendants of Machir, the father of Gilead. And after Hezron died and Caleb Epaphras, Abishai, the wife of Hezron, bore him Ashur, the father of Tekoa. Now the sons of Jeremiel, the firstborn of Hezron, Ram, his firstborn, Bunah, Oren, Ozam, and Ahijah. Jeremiel had another wife, whose name was Atara, and she was the mother of Onam. And the sons of Ram, the firstborn of Jehoramel, Maaz, Jamin, and Eker. And the sons of Onam, Shammai, and Jada. And the sons of Shammai, Nadab, and Abishur. And Abishur's wife was named Abihail, who bore him Ahaban and Moled. And the sons of Nadab, Seled and Apam. Seled died without children. The son of Apam, Ishai, who was the father of Shishan. And Shishan was the father of Ahalai. And the sons of Jada, Shemaiah's brother, Jether and Jonathan. And Jether died without children. And the sons of Jonathan, Pelah and Zerah. And these were the descendants of Jehoramel. Shishan had no sons, only daughters. And he had an Egyptian servant named Jahara. And Shishan gave his daughter in marriage to his servant Jahara, and he bore him Attai. And Attai was the father of Nathan, and Nathan the father of Zabad, and Zabad the father of Ephalal, and Ephalal the father of Obed, and Obed the father of Jehu, and Jehu the father of Azariah, and Azariah the father of Helez, and Helez the father of Elisha, and Elisha the father of Sismai, and Sismai the father of Shalom, and Shalom the father of Jechamah, and Jechemiah the father of Elishama. And the sons of Caleb, the brother of Jehorameel, Mesha his firstborn, who was the father of Ziph, and his son Marisha, who was the father of Hebron. Now, the sons of Hebron, Korah, Tapua, Rekem, and Shema. And Shema was the father of Raham, and Raham the father of Jorkaim, and Rekem was the father of Shammai. And the son of Shammai was Moan, and Moan was the father of Bethzur. Caleb's concubine Ephah was the mother of Haran, Moza, and Gazez. Haran was the father of Gazez. The sons of Jahada, Rajim, Jotham, Gershom, Pelet, Ephah, and Shapha. Caleb's concubine Micaiah was the mother of Sheber and Tiranaha. She also gave birth to Shapha, the father of Madamana, and to Sheva, the father of Machbanah and Gibeah. And Caleb's daughter was Akashah, and these were the descendants of Caleb. Now the sons of Hur, the firstborn of Epaphras, Shobal, the father of Kiriath Jearim, Salama, the father of Bethlehem, and Harapeth, the father of Beth-Gadar. The descendants of Shobal, the father of Kiriath Jearim, were Harioth, half the Manahathites, and the clans of Kiriath Jearim, the Itharites, the Putahites, the Shuanites, and the Misharites. From these descended the Zorathites and the Estolites. The descendants of Salma, Bethlehem, the Naphtalites, Atoreth Beth Joab, half the Manahites and the Zorites, and the clans of scribes who lived at Jabez, the Tirathites, and Shemanites, and the Sukathites. These are the Canaanites who came from Hamath, the father of the Rechabites. These were the sons of David born to him in Hebron. The firstborn was Amnon, the son of Ahinom of Jezreel. The second, Daniel, the son of Abigail of Carmel. The third, Abishai, the son of Micaiah, daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. And the fourth, Adonijah, the son of Haggith. The fifth, Shephatiah, the son of Abital. And the sixth, Ithream, by his wife Eglah. These six were born to David in Hebron, where he reigned 7 years and 6 months. David reigned in Jerusalem 33 years, and these were the children born to him there: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, and Solomon. And these four were by Bathsheba, daughter of Amiel. There were also Abihar, Elishua, Eliphet, Nogah, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphet. 9 in all. All these were sons of David, besides a son by his concubines, and Tamar was his sister. Solomon's son was Rehoboam, Abijah his son, Asa his son, Jehoshaphat his son, Jehoram his son, Ahazariah his son, Joash his son, Amaziah his son, Azariah his son, Jotham his son, Ahaz his son, Hezekiah his son, Manasseh his son, Amnon his son, Josiah his son. Wow! Man! The sons of Josiah: Jonathan the firstborn, Jehoiakim the second son, Zedekiah the third, Shallum the fourth. The successor of Joachim was Joachim was Joachim, his son, and Zedekiah. The descendants of Joachim the captive, Shealtiel, his son, Macharam, Pedaiah, Shenazar, Jechemiah, Hosama, and Hedabiah. The sons of Pedaiah was Zerubbabel and Shimei. The sons of Zerubbabel, Meshullam, and Hananiah. Shelemith was their sister. And there were 5 others, Hashubah, Ohio, Berechiah, Hasadiah, and Jeshua Hesed. The descendants of Hananiah. Now, Pelatiah and Jeshua and the sons of Raphinah, or Aran of Obadiah and of Shekinah. The descendants of Shechaniah, Shemaiah and his sons, Hattush, Igal, Bariah, Nerah, and Shaphat, 6 in all. The sons of Neriah, Elaniah, Hezekiah, and Azrikam, 3 in all. And the sons of Elanoiah were Hodaviah, Elisheba, Pelah, Akabah, Jonathan, Delilah, and Ananiah, 7 in all.
We're going to have a test on this when we get done.
There is going to be a test.
Hey, and we forgot something.
What's that, brother?
We forgot to wish your son, Frankie, a happy birthday
yes,
today.
It's my son, Frank Jr. It's his birthday today.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday to him. Thank you, Jack.
The tribes of Israel, the descendants of Judah, Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, and Shobal. Renee, son of Shobal, was the father of Jethoth, the father of Anuel, and Lahad. These were the clans of the Zerorites. These were the sons of Edom: Zebreel, Ishma, Edbash. The sister's name was Hezapoli. Peniel was the father of Jegor, and Izar, the father of Hushah. These were the descendants of Hur, the firstborn of the Ephraim, the father of Bethlehem. Asher, the father of Tekoa, had 2 wives, Helah and Nahar. Nahar bore him Abiraz, Hefer, Timei, and Hashurgi. These were the descendants of Nahar. The sons of Helam, Zerith, Zehor, Ethan, and Koz, who was the father of Anab and Hazaroth, of the clans of Ebal, sons of Hamor. Jabez was more honorable than his brother. His mother's name was Jabez, saying, I gave birth to him in pain. Jabez cried out to the Lord of Israel, oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I will be free from pain. And God granted the request. Caleb, Shua, brother, was father of Mehil, who was the father of Eshton. Eshton was the father of Beth Rapha. Pazes and Tina, the father of Nahash. These were the men of Rekah. The sons of Kenaz, of Othniel, and Sheshah, the sons of Othniel, Hathnath, and Meniah. Menathai was the father of Oprah. Semia was the father of Joab, the father of Harshman, and was called because his people were craftsmen. The son of Caleb, son of Jephuel, Eru, Elah, and Nahum. The son of Elah, Kenaz. The son of Jehiel, Zip, Ziphah, Tiria, and Ashur. The son of Izar, Jether, Merib, Ephra, and Jalal. One of the Mirid's wives gave birth to Miriam, Shema, and Ishbal, the father of Ethbaal. His Judean wife gave birth to Jared, the father of Gedor, Heber, the father of Sokah, and Jecholothal, the father of Zanuel. They were the children of the Pharaoh's daughter, Bithiam, who Mered had married. The son of Jewel's wife, the sister was Naham, the father was Gila, the Garmite, and Izar, the Bachkalite. The sons of Shirmad, Amnon, Renah, Ben-Hana, and Tilon. The descendants of Izai, Zohev, and Ben-Zolah. The sons of Shelah, sons of Judah, the father of Ledah, the father of Mershah, the clans of the linen workers at Beth Ashbea. Jocham, the men of Zobiel, and Joash, and Seraph, who ruled in Moab, and Jeshbujal, Lamb. These records are from ancient times. They were the potters who lived in Netah, Gedur, and they stayed there and worked for the king. Simeon, the descendants of Simeon, Nemiel, Jamin, Jereb, Zerah, Shaw. Shalom was Shalom's son. Mibeth, his son, was Mishma, his son, the descendants of Mishma. Hamel, his son, Zakur, his son, Shemiel, his son. Shemiel had 16 sons and 6 daughters, but his brothers did not have many children. So their entire clan did not become as numerous as the people of Judah. They lived in Beersheba, Moab, Zad, Shul, Binha, Ezem, Tolad, Bethel, Hamar, Ziklag, Beth Harbcom, Hazem Suzim, Beth Bibri, and Sharam. These were the towns under the reign of David. Their surrounding villages were Edom, Ain, Rimmon, Token, and Asher, 5 towns, and all the villages around these towns as far as Baalath. These were the settlements, and they kept a genealogical record. Misham, Jelach, Joshua, son of Amaz, Joel, Jurah, son of Juraj, the son of Sarai, the son of Asel, also Eloneh, Jacobah, Jeshua, Asha, Edil, Jizamiel, Beniel, and Zillah, son of Shiphi, and the son of Alam, the son of Jediah, the son of Shimrai, the son of Shemaiah. The men listed above by name were leaders of their clans. Their families increased greatly, and they went to the outskirts of Gedor, to the east of the valley, in search of pastures for the flocks. They found rich, good pasture, and the land was spacious, peaceful, and quiet. Some of Hamath's had lived there formerly. The men whose names were listed came in the days of Hazael, king of Judah. They attacked the Hamites in their dwellings and also the Minuites who were there and completely destroyed them, as evident to this day. Then they settled in their place because there was pasture land for their flocks. And 500 of these Simeonites, led by Pidalai, Neri, Rethel, and Uzlah, the sons of Ishi, invaded the hill country of Seir. They killed the remaining Ajlachites who had escaped, and they have lived there to this day. Chapter 5, Reuben. The sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, he was the firstborn, but when he defiled the father's marriage bed, his rights as firstborn were given to his son Joseph, son of Israel. So he could not be listed in the genealogical record in accordance with birthrights, and though Judah was the strongest of his brothers and a ruler came from him, the rights of the firstborn belonged to Joseph, the son of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel. Hanak, Pula, Zezron, and Camri, the descendants of Joel. Sheshmil, his son. Gog, his son. Shimi, his son. Makah, his son. Reha, his son. Baal, his son. Ashir, his son, and whose Tigath-Pileser, king of Assyria, took into exile. Bera was the leader of the Reubenites. Their relatives by clans listed according to the genealogical records: Jael, the chief, Zerah, and Bela, son of Izar, the son of Shirma, the son of Joel. They settled in the area of Aurora to Nebo and Baal-Meon, son of Joel. They settled in the area of Aurora to Nebo, Baal of Meol. To the east, they occupied the land up to the edge of the desert that extended to the Euphrates River, because their livestock had increased in Gilead. During Saul's reign, they waged wars against the Hagrites, who were defeated, and at their lands they occupied the dwellings of the Hagrites throughout the entire region east of Gilead. Gad. The Gadites lived next to them in Bashan as far as Salakah. Joseph was the chief, Saphram the second, then Jeneh and Saphat in Bashan. Their relatives by families were Michael, Shinlam, Sheba, Joreh, Jachin, Zia, and Eber, 7 in all. These were the sons of Abihail, son of Huri, the son of Jeroah, the son of Gilead, the son of Michael, the son of Jesarasheh, the son of Jahdo, the son of Buz. Ashi, son of Adiel, the son of Gunai, was the head of their family. The Gadites lived in Gilead, in Bashan, and its outlying villages, and all the pasture land of Sharon, as far as they extended. All of these were entered into the genealogical records during the reign of Jotham, king of Judah, Jeroboam, king of Israel. Ready for military service, able-bodied men who could handle shield and sword, who could use a bow, who were trained for battle. They waged war against the Hagrites, Jetrah, Nashra, and Nodab. They were helped in fighting them, and God handed the Hagrites and all their allies over to them because they cried out to him during the battle. He answered their prayers because they trusted in him. They seized the livestock of the Hagrites, 50,000 camels, 250,000 sheep, 2,000 donkeys. They took 100,000 people captive
and many others fell slain, because of the battle was God's, and they occupied the land until exile. The people of the half-tribe of Manasseh were numerous. They settled in the land of Bashan, to Baal-Haran, that is, to Senir, Mount Hermon. They were the heads of their families: Ephraim, Ishi, Eliel, Azariah, Jeremiah, Hosea, Jediel. They were brave warriors, famous men and heads of their families, but they were unfaithful to God of their fathers, and prostituted themselves to gods of the people of the land, whom God had destroyed before them. So God of Israel stirred up the spirit of Paul, king of Assyria, that is, Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, who took the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half-tribe of Manasseh into exile. He took them to Halar, Harbor, Hara, and the river of Gazan, where they are to this day. Chapter 6. Levi, the sons of Levi: Gershon, Kahath, Merari. The sons of Kahath: Aram, Izhar, Hebron, Azulel. The children of Amram: Aaron, Moses, Miriam. The sons of Aaron: Nadav, Abihu, Izar, Ithmar. Aziel was the father of Penas. Penas was the father of Abarash. Abarash the father of Buki. Buki the father of Uzi. Uzi the father of Zerah. Zerah the father of Meroth. Meroth the father of Amrah. Amrah the father of Atu. Atu the father of Zadok. Zadok the father of Amrath. Amaz the father of Azara. Azara the father of Johanan. Johanan the father of Azara. It was he who served as the priest in the temple of Solomon built in Jerusalem. Azarah the father of Amara. Amara the father of Atub. Atub the father of Zadok. Zadok the father of Shalom. Shalom the father of Hitkah. Hitkah the father of Azurah. Azurah the father of Shirah. Shirah the father of Jovadak. Jovadak deported when the Lord sent Judah and Jerusalem into exile by the land of Nebuchadnezzar. The son of Levi: Jerzon, Kahath, and Merah. These are the names of the son of Gershon: Libni, Shimi. The sons of Kabath: Arma, Izar, Hebron, Azul. The sons of Mirai: Hali, and Hushi. These are the clans of the Levites listed according to their fathers. Of Gershon: Libni, his son; Jahath, his son; Zemah, his son; Jua, his son; Edo, his son; Zehur, his son; and Jeziel, his son. The descendants of Kahath: Abinadab, his son; Korah, his son; Ashir, his son; Akana, his son; Abashah, his son; Asir, his son; Tahath, his son; Ariel, his son; Azul, his son; Shah, his son. The descendants of Elkanah: Abase, Ahamath; Elkanah, his son; Zuhah, his son; Nahath, his son; Eliah, his son; Jehob, his son; Akah, his son; Samuel, his son, the son of Samuel. A little easier. Joel, the firstborn; of Abba, the second son. The descendants of Merari, Malai, Libni, his son, Shimi, his son, Uzal, his son, Shimi, his son, Haggai, his son, Asul, his son. These are the men of David put in charge of the music in the house of the Lord after the ark came to rest there. They ministered his music before the tabernacle, the tent of the meeting, until Solomon built the temple of the Lord in Jerusalem. They performed their duties according to the regulations laid down. Excuse me. Here are the men who served together with their sons. From Kahath, Herman, the musician, the son of Joel, the son of Samuel, the son of Elkanah, the son of Jeremiah, the son of Elah, the son of Tahah, the son of Zuph, the son of Elakon, the son of Mahath, the son of Amasai, the son of Elakah, the son of Joel, the son of Izar, the son of Zephran, the son of Tahath, the son of Asur, the son of Abeth, the son of Quran, the son of Izar, the son of Kabath, the son of Levi, the son of Israel, and Naaman, associate Asaph, who served at his right hand, Asaph, son of Berkai, the son of Shemiah, the son of Michael, the son of Beha, the son of Maljah, the son of Ethni, the son of Zerha, the son of Adah, the son of Ethan, the son of Sima, the son of Shimi, the son of Jabath, the son of Kirshan, the son of Levi, the son of, and from their associates, the right at his left, Ethan, son of Kishi, the son of Adibi, the son of Moloch, the son of Hashabah, the son of Amath, the son of Hilkah, the son of Amzi, the son of Bani, the son of Shemer, the son of Malai, the son of Mushi, the son of Muri, the son of Levi. The following Levites were assigned to all their other duties of the tabernacle, the house of God. But Aaron and his descendants were the ones who were presented offerings on the altar, of burnt offerings and of the altar of incense, in connection with all that was done in the most holy place, making atonements for Israel in accordance with all of Moses, the servants of God, had commanded. These were the descendants of Aaron: Izar, his son, Pinhas, his son, Abishu, his son, Buki, his son, Uzi, his son, Zerahah, his son, Merah, his son, Amarah, his son, Abatab, his son, Zadok, his son, and Anmaz, his son. These were the locations of the settlements allotment as their territories. They were assigned to the descendants of Aaron, who were the Cohenite clan, because the first lot was for them. They were given Hebron in Judah with the surrounding pasture lands, but the fields and villages around the city were given to Caleb, son of Jephunneh, so that the descendants of Aaron were given Hebron, a city of refuge, and Zibah, Jatir, Ishatomo, Helan, Debir, Ashnan, Judah, Bethel, Sheman, together with their pasture lands, and from the tribe of Benjamin they were given Gibeon, Gibeah, Alameth, Anathoth, together with their pasture lands. These towns, which were distributed among the Kenathite clans, were 13 in all. The rest of Kohath descendants were allotted 10 towns from the clans of the half-tribe of Manasseh. The descendants of Gershon, clan by clan, were allotted 13 towns from the tribes of Izar, Asher, Naphtali, and from the parts of the tribe of Manasseh, that is in Bashan. The descendants of Mizrahi, clan by clan, were allotted 12 towns from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. So the Israelites gave the Levites these towns and their pasture lands. From the tribes of Judah, Simeon, Benjamin, they were allotted the previous named towns. Some of the Canaanites clans were given the territory towns from the tribe of Ephraim.
Wait a minute, we're in the middle of a chapter, but I'm going to relieve you, brother.
Thank you. Could you tell I needed it?
Yeah, you needed that.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
67.
In the middle of 6, in the hill country of Ephraim, they were given Shechem, a city of refuge, and Izar, Jokmeam, Beth Horon, Aijalon, and Gath, Rimmon, together with their pasture lands. And from the half tribe of Manasseh, the Israelites gave Aner and Bileam, together with their pasture lands, to the rest of the Kohathite clans. The Gershonites received the following. From the clan of the half tribe of Manasseh, they received Golan in Bashan, and also Ashtoreth, together with their pasture lands. And from the tribe of Ishkar, they received Kadesh, Debereth, Ramoth, and Aham, together with their pasture lands. From the tribe of Asher, they received Marshall, Abdon, Hukok, and Rehob, together with their pasture lands. And from the tribe of Naphtali, they received Kadesh in Galilee, Hamanon, and Kirithaim, together with their pasture lands. Now the Merarites, the rest of the Levites, received the following. From the tribe of Zebulun, they received Jochanim, Kartath, Ramono, and Tabor, together with their pasture lands. And from the tribes of Reuben across the Jordan east of Jericho, they received Bezir in the wilderness, Jahaza, Kedemoth, and Mephathah, together with their pasture lands. And from the tribe of Gad, they received Ramoth in Gilead, Mahanaim, Heshbon, and Jazer, together with their pasture lands. Chapter 7, the sons of Ishkar, Tola, Pua, Jashab, and Shimron, 4 in all. And the sons of Tola, Uzi, Aphina, Jeriel, Jahama, Isham, and Samuel, and heads of the families. During the reign of David, the descendants of Tola, listed as fighting men in their genealogy, numbered 22,600. The son of Uzi, Izariah. The sons of Izariah were Michael, Obadiah, Joel, and Ishiah. All 5 were chiefs. According to their family genealogy, they had 36,000 men ready for battle, for they had many wives and children. And the relatives who were fighting men belonging to all the clans of Ishkar, as listed in the genealogy, were 87,000 in all. 3 sons of Benjamin, Bela, Becher, and Jediel. The sons of Bela, Esbon, Uzi, Uziel, Jeremoth, and Eri, heads of families. 5 in all. Their genealogical record listed 22,034 fighting men. The sons of Becher, Zemariah, Joash, Eleazar, Elani, Omari, Jeremoth, Abishai, Anatoleth, and Alemoth. All these were the sons of Becher, and their genealogical record listed the heads of families and 20,200 fighting men. The son of Jedidiel, Bilhan. The sons of Bilhan, Jeush, Benjamin, Ehud, Kenath, Zethan, Tarshish, and Ahishahar. All these sons of Jedidiah were heads of families, and there were 17,205 men ready to go out to war. And the Shuphites and the Huppites were the descendants of and the Hushites and the descendants of Ahur. The sons of Naphtali, Jahaziel, Gunai, Jazer, and Siliam, the descendants of Bilhah. The descendants of Manasseh, Azrael was his descendant through his Armenian concubine. She gave birth to Machir, the father of Gilead, and Machir took a wife from among the Huppites and the Shuphites, and his sister's name was Micaiah, and another son was named Zelophehad, who had only daughters. Now Machir's wife Micaiah gave birth to a son, named him Penrush, and his brother was named Sherush, and his sons were Ulam and Rakim. The son of Ulam, Bedan. And these were the sons of Gilead, son of Machir, the son of Manasseh. And his sister Hameleketh gave birth to Ishad, Abiezar, and Mahala. The sons of Shemaiah were Ahian, Shechem, Lehi, and Aniam. The descendants of Ephraim, Shutelah, Bered his son, Tahath his son, Eldah his son, Tahath his son, Zabad his son, and Shutelah his son. And Izar and Eliad were killed by the native-born men of Gath when they went down to seize their livestock. Their father, Ephraim, mourned for many days, and his relatives came to comfort him. Then he made love to his wife again, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. He named him Berai, because there had been misfortune in his family. And his daughter was Shira, who built Lower and Upper Beth-horon as well as Uzan Shira. Raphath was his son. Resheph was his son. Tela his son. Tahan his son. Ladan his son. Aminahud his son. Elishama his son. Nun his son. And Joshua his son. Their lands and settlements included Bethel and its surrounding villages, Naran to the east, Gezer and its villages to the west, and Shechem and its villages all the way to Ayah and its villages. Along the borders of Manasseh were Beshan, Tanakh, Megiddo, and Dor, together with their villages. The descendants of Joseph, son of Israel, lived in these towns. The sons of Asher, Imnah, Ishva, Ishvi, and Berah. Their sister was Sarah. The sons of Berah, Hebner and Malachiel, and Malchiel, who was the father of Birzeth. Heber was the father of Japhlet, Shomer, and Hotham, and of their sister Shua, the sons of Japhlet, Pathach, Bimhal, and Ashvath. And these were Japhlet's sons, the sons of Shomer, Ahai, Roga, Huba, and Aram. The son of his brother Helam, Zophath, Imnah, Shelash, and Amiel. The sons of Zophah, Sua, Haraphaner, Shual, Beri, Imrah, Bezer, Had, Shammah, Shilshah, Ithran, and Bera. The sons of Jether, Japunah, Pishpa, and Ara. The sons of Ulah, Era, Hananiel, and Riziah. And all these were the descendants of Asher, heads of families, choice men, brave warriors, and outstanding leaders. The number of men ready for battle as listed in their genealogy was 26,000. Chapter 8. Benjamin was the father of Bela, his firstborn, Ashbel, the second son, Ahara, the third, Noha, the fourth, and Rapha, the fifth. The sons of Bela were Adar, Gera, Abihud, Abishua, Naaman, Ahora, Gera, Shephuniam, and Huram. And these were the descendants of Ehud, who were the heads of families of those living in Geba and were deported to Manahath. Naaman, Ahijah, and Gera, who deported them, and who was the father of Uzzah and Ehud. Sons were born to Saharam in Moab after he had divorced his wives Husham and Barah. By his wife Hodash he had Jobab, Zibiah, Misha, Malacham, Jeuz, Sakiah, and Miramoth. And these were his sons, heads of families. By Hushim he had Abitub and Eliphal. The sons of Eliphal, Eber, Mishmam, Sheman, who built Ono and Lod with its surrounding villages, and Beriah and Shema, who were the heads of families of those living in Ahijalon, who drove out the inhabitants of Gath. Ahio, Shashak, Jamoth, Zebediah, Arad, Eder, Michael, Ishba, and Joah were the sons of Beriah. Zebediah, Meshulam, Hizkah, Heber, Ishmerai, Isla, and Jobab were the sons of Eliphal. Jakim, Zechariah, Zabdi, Elani, Zilithai, Elio, Adonai, Barai, and Shimra were the sons of Shimei. Ishpan, Eber, Eliel, Abdon, Zikri, Hanan, Hananiah, Elam, Athonijah, Ephadiah, and Peniel were the sons of Shashak. Shamashira, Shedashira, Athaliah, Jarashia, Elijah, and Zikri were the sons of Jehoram. All these were heads of families, chiefs, as listed in their genealogy, and they lived in Jerusalem. Now Jehiel, the father of Gibeon, lived in Gibeon, and his wife's name was Micah. And his firstborn sons were Abdon, followed by Zur, Kish, Baal, Ner, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zeker, and Mikloth, who was the father of Shemaiah. And they too lived near their relatives in Jerusalem. And Ner was the father of Kish, Kish the father of Saul, and Saul the father of Jonathan, Malchi-Shua, Abinadab, and Ishbaal, the son of Jonathan, Meribaal, who was the father of Micah. The sons of Micah, Pithon, Melech, Terah, and Ahaz. Ahaz was the father of Jehoda, and Jehoda was the father of Alemoth, Asmaveth, and Zimri. And Zimri was the father of Moza, and Moza was the father of Benaiah. Raphanah was his son, and Elisaiah his son, and Aziel his son. And Aziel had 6 sons, and these were their names: Azrikam, Bokeru, Ishmael, Sherebiah, Obadiah, and Hanan. All these were the sons of Aziel. The sons of his brother Eshek, Ulam his firstborn, Jeush the second son, and Eliphat the third. The sons of Ulam were brave warriors who could handle the bow, and they had many sons and grandsons, 150 in all. And these were the descendants of Benjamin. Chapter 9. All Israel was listed in the genealogies recorded in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah, and they were taken captive to Babylon because of their unfaithfulness. Now the first to resettle on their own property in their own towns were some Israelites, priests, Levites, and temple servants. Those from Judah, from Benjamin, and from Ephraim and Manasseh, who lived in Jerusalem, were Uthai, son of Aminahab, the son of Omri, the son of Imri, the son of Bani, a descendant of Perez, son of Judah. And of the Shilonites, Asaiah, the firstborn, and the sons. Of the Zerahites, Jaul, the people from Judah, numbered 690. And of the Benjamites, Salu, son of Meshullam, the son of Hodaviah, the son of Hasanunah, Ibaniah, son of Jeroham, Eli, son of Uzi, the son of Mikri, and Meshullam, son of Sheptiah, the son of Reu, the son of Abanaj. The people from Benjamin, as listed in their genealogy, numbered 956. All these men were heads of their families. And of the priests, Jedediah, pardon me, Jehoram, and Jachin. Azariah, son of Hilkiah, the son of Meshullam, the son of Zadok, the son of Marioth, the son of Ahitub, the official in charge of the house of God. And Adonijah, son of Jehoram, and the son of Pashur, the son of Malachi, and Masai, the son of Adil, the son of Jazerah, the son of Meshullam, the son of Meshilamith, the son of Immer. The priests, who were the heads of the families, numbered 1,760, and they were able men, responsible for ministering in the house of God. And of the Levites, Shemiah, son of Hashub, the son of Azikam, the son of Hashaba, a Merarite, Bakabar, Harish, Galeel, and Matana, son of Micah, the son of Zikri, the sons of Ashba, Obadiah, son of Shemaiah, and the son of Galeel, the son of Jeduthun, and Barakai, son of Asa, the son of Elkanah, who lived in the village of the Naphtalites, the gatekeepers, Shalom, Akob, Talum, Ahimam, and their fellow Levites. Shalom, their chief, being stationed at the king's gate on the east up to the present time. These were the gatekeepers belonging to the camp of the Levites. Shalom, son of Kor, the son of Ebasaph, the son of Korath, and his fellow gatekeepers from his family, the Korahites, who were responsible for guarding the thresholds of the tent, just as their ancestors had been responsible for guarding the entrance to the dwelling of the Lord. In early times, Phinehas, son of Eleazar, was an official in charge of the gatekeepers, and the Lord was with him. Now Zechariah, son of Meshelemiah, was the gatekeeper at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Altogether, those chosen to be gatekeepers at the thresholds numbered 212. And they were registered by genealogy in their villages. The gatekeepers had been assigned to their positions of trust by David and Samuel the seer. They and their descendants were in charge of guarding the gates of the house of the Lord, the house called the Tent of Meeting. The gatekeepers were on the four sides, east, west, north, and south. And their fellow Levites in their villages had to come from time to time and share their duties for 7-day periods. But the four principal gatekeepers, who were Levites, were entrusted with the responsibility for the rooms and the treasuries in the house of God, and they would spend the night stationed around the house of God because they had to guard it and they had charge of the key for opening it each morning. Some of them were in charge of the articles used in the temple service. They counted them when they were brought in, when they were taken out. And others were assigned to take care of the furnishings and all the other articles of the sanctuary, as well as the special flour and wine and olive oil, incense and spices. But some of the priests took care of mixing the spices. And a Levite named Mattiah, the firstborn son of Shallum the Korahite, was entrusted with the responsibility for baking the offering bread. Now some of the Kohathites, their fellow Levites, were in charge of preparing for every Sabbath the bread set out on the table. Now those who were musicians, heads of Levite families, stayed in the rooms of the temple and were exempt from other duties because they were responsible for the work day and night. All these were heads of Levite families, chiefs as listed in their genealogy, and they lived in Jerusalem. Jael, the father of Gibeon, lived in Gibeon. Now his wife's name was Maacah, and his firstborn son was Abdon, followed by Zur, Kish, Baal, Ner, Nadab, Gedor, Ahio, Zechariah, and Micheloth. Micheloth was the father of the Shemeam, and they too lived near their relatives in Jerusalem. And Ner was the father of Kish, and Kish the father of Saul, and Saul the father of Jonathan, Malchi-Shua, Abinadab, and Eshbaal. The son of Jonathan, Meribbaal, who was the father of Micah. The sons of Micah, Pithon, Melech, Teerah, and Ahaz. Ahaz was the father of Jada. Jada was the father of Alemus, Azameth, and Zimri. And Zimri was the father of Mosa. Mosa was the father of Benaiah. Raphinah was his son, and Elish his son, and Aziel his son. And Aziel had 6 sons, and these were their names: Azkam, Bokeru, Ishmael, Shariah, Obadiah, and Hanan. These were the sons of Aziel.
Tagging you out.
All right, brother.
Good work.
10.
Good work.
We're in 10.
Yes, we are in 1 Chronicles 10, if you're just joining us. And so we'll pick it up with David becomes king over all Israel. Chapter 10. Now the Philistines fought against Israel. The Israelites fled before them, and many fell slain on Mount Gilboa. The Philistines pressed hard after Saul and his sons, and they killed his sons Jonathan, Abinad, Malchi-Shua. The fighting grew fierce around Saul, and when the archers overtook him, they wounded him. Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and run me through, or these uncircumcised fellows will come and abuse me." But his armor-bearer was terrified and would not do it. So Saul took his own sword and fell on it. Ooh. When the armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he too fell on his sword and died. So Saul and his 3 sons died, and all his house died too. When all the Israelites in the valley saw that the army had fled, and that Saul and his sons had died, they abandoned their towns and fled, and the Philistines came and occupied them. The next day, when the Philistines came to strip the dead, they found Saul and his sons fallen on Mount Gilboa. They stripped him and took his head and his armor, and sent messengers throughout the land of the Philistines to proclaim the news among the idols and their people. They put his armor in the temple and their gods, and hung his head in the temple of Dagon. When all the inhabitants of Jabesh Gilead heard of everything the Philistines had done to Saul, all their valiant men went and took the bodies of Saul and his sons and brought them to Jabesh. Then they buried their bones under the great tree of Jabesh, and they fasted 7 days. Saul died because he was unfaithful to the Lord. He did not keep the word of the Lord, and even consulted a medium for guidance, and did not inquire of the Lord. So the Lord put him to death and turned the kingdom over to David, son of Jesse. All Israel came together to David at Hebron and said, "We are your own flesh and blood. In the past, even Saul was king. You were the one who led Israel on the military campaigns. And the Lord your God said to you, 'You will shepherd my people Israel, and you will become their ruler.' When all the elders," chapter 11. When all the elders of Israel had come to David at Hebron, he made a compact with them at Hebron before the Lord. And they anointed David king over Israel, as the Lord had promised through Samuel. David and all his Israelites marched into Jerusalem, that is Jebus, and Jebusites who lived there said to David, "You will not get in here." Nevertheless, David captured the fortress of Zion, the city of David. David had said, "Whoever leads the attack on the Jebusites will become commander-in-chief." Joab, son of Zerah, went up first, and so he received the command. David then took up residence in the fortress, and so it was called the city of David. He built up the city around it, from the supporting terraces to the surrounding wall, while Joab restored the rest of the city, and David became more and more powerful because the Lord Almighty was with him. These were the chiefs of David's mighty men. They, together with all of Israel, gave up kingship, strong support to extend it over the whole land, as the Lord had promised. This is the list of David's mighty men. Jishabin, a Hakimite, was chief of the officers. He raised his spear against 300 men, whom he killed in one encounter. Next was Izar, son of Doi, the Ahite, one of the 3 mighty men. He was with David at Pas Dammim when the Philistines gathered there for battle. At a place where there was a field full of barley, the troop fled from the Philistines. But they took their stand in the middle of the field. They defended it and struck the Philistines down. And the Lord brought about a great victory. 3 of the 30 chiefs came down to David to the rock at the cave of Adullam, while the band of Philistines was encamped in the valley of Rephaim. At that time, David was in his stronghold, and the Philistine garrison was at Bethlehem. David longed for water and said, "Oh, that someone would get me a drink of water from the well near the gate of Bethlehem." So the 3 broke through the Philistine lines, drew water from the well near the gate of Bethlehem, and carried it back to David. But he refused to drink it. Instead, he poured it out
before the Lord. God forbid that I should do this, he said. Should I drink the blood of these men who went at the risk of their lives? Because they risked their lives to bring it back, David would not drink. Such were the exploits of the three mighty men. Asher, the brother of Joab, was chief of the three. He raised his spear against 300 men, whom he killed, and so he became famous as the three. He was duly honored above the three and became their commander, even though he was not included among them. Benash, son of Jibhab, was a valiant fighter at Kabzeel, who performed great exploits. He struck down 2 of the Moab's best men. He also went down into the pit on a snowy day and killed a lion. He struck down Egyptians who was 7.5 feet tall.
Wow.
All the Egyptians had a spear like a weaver rod in his hand. Benaiah went against him with a club. He snatched the spear from Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada. He too was famous as the three mighty men. He was held in greater honor than any of the 30, but he was not included among the three. And David put him in charge of his bodyguard. The mighty men were Asher, the brother of Joab, Enan, son of Dodo, from Bethlehem, Shemath, the Harite, Hiliz, the Pilonite, Ira, son of Ikath, and Dechil, Abazir, and Anath, Zibeth, the Hushite, Eliath, the Aohite, Moriah, the Zidonite, Heald, son of Benah, the Netobite, Ethan, son of Reba, the Jubiel in Benjamin, and Bina, the Pirathite. Hura was the ravens of Kash. Abziel was the Arborite. Aziel was, or Asmath was the Bathurmite. Elab was the Shavite, the son of Hasher and Gizorite. Jonathan, the son of Shigi, the Harite. Ara, son of Sakar, the Harite. Ephel, son of Epher, the Becherite. Aha, the Penelite. Hingzah, the Camelite. Nazar, son of Eba. Joel, the brother of Nathan. Bizar, son of Haggai. Zeo, the Ammonite. Neber, the Benonite, the armor bearer of the Joab, the son of Zerah. Ira, the Irite. Gerath, the Irite. Ura, the Hittite. Zabad, the son of Elah. Ananite, son of Shiza. The Reubenite, who was chief of the Reubenites, and was 30 with them. Hannah was the son of Makkah. Josaphat, the Mithnite. Uzziah, the Asherite. Shema, the Zeel, the son of Hotham, the Ararite. Nebanel, son of Shimri. His brother, Toa, the Tizite. Elath, the Meziah. Jerai, the Joshua, the son of Ithna. Ithma, the Moabite. Elam, Obed, Jezer, the Jezebite. Wow, chapter 12.
I hear you, brother.
These were the men who came to David at Ziklag while they were banished from the presence of Saul, son of Kish. They were among the warriors who helped him in battle. They were armed with bows and were able to shoot arrows or to sling stones, right-handed or left-handed. They were kinsmen of Saul from the tribe of Benjamin. Azur, the chief, and Noaz, his son, and Shaman, the Gibeonite, Zeel, and Peleb, the son of Azamrath, Benarekah, Jehu, and Amathite, Isamah, the Jeremiah, Jezael, Johanna, Jozbad, the Jeduthite, Islu, Ismath, Beel, Shimrah, Shiphrah, the Huphanite, Ulam, Izar, Arzar, Jozar, Jezbeer, the Korites, and Joel, and Zebediah, the son of Jeram, from Geder. So Gadites defected to David at his stronghold in the desert. They were brave warriors, ready for battle and able to handle the shield and spear. Their faces were the faces of lions, and they were as swift as gazelles in the mountains. Izar was the chief, Obadiah the second in command, Elab the third, Mishmana the fourth, Jeremiah was the fifth, Atah the sixth, Elah the seventh, Jonan the eighth, Ezobad the ninth, Jeremiah the 10th, Macbani the 11th. These Gadites were armed commanders. The least was the match for 100, and the greatest for 1,000. It was they who crossed the Jordan in the first month, when it was overflowing all of its banks, and they put to fight everyone living in the valley, to the east and to the west. Other Benjamites and some men from Judah also came with David in his stronghold. David went out to meet them and said to them, "If you have come to me in peace to help me, I'm ready to have you unite with me. But if you have come to betray me to my enemies, when my hands are free from violence, may the God of our fathers see it and judge you." Then the Spirit came on Amashah, chief of the 30, and he said, "We are yours, O David. We are with you, O son of Jesse. Success to you, success to you, and success to those who help you, for your God will help you." So David received them and made them leaders of his raiding bands. Some of the men of Manasseh defected to David when he went to the Philistines to fight against Saul. He and his men did not help the Philistines because after consultation, the rulers sent him away. They said, "It will cost our heads if he deserts us to his master Saul." When David went to Ziklag, these were the men of Manasseh who defected to him: Abner, Jozbad, Jediel, Michael, Jozbad, Elihu, Zeanah, leaders of units of 1,000 in Manasseh. They helped David against the raiding bands, for all of them were brave warriors, and they were commanders in his army. Day after day, men came to help David until he had a great army, like the army of God. Others joined David in Hebron. These are the numbers of the men armed for battle who came to David at Hebron to turn Saul's kingdom over to him, as the Lord had said. Men of Judah carrying shields and spears, 6,800 armed for battle. Men of Simeon, warriors ready for battle, 7,100. Men of Levi, 4,600, including Jonad, leader of the family of Aaron, with 3,700 men, and Zadok, a brave warrior with 22 officers from his family. Men of Benjamin, Saul kinsman, 3,000, most of whom had remained loyal to Saul's house until then. Men of Ephraim, brave warriors, famous in their own clans, 20,800. Men of half of the tribe of Manasseh, designated by name to come and make David king, 18,000. Men of Izar, who understood the times and knew what Israel should do, 200 chiefs with all their relatives under their command. Men of Zebulun, experienced soldiers prepared for battle, with every type of weapon to help David with undivided loyalty, 50,000. Men of Naphtali, 1,000 officers, together with 37,000 men carrying shields and spears. Men of Dan, ready for battle, 28,600. Men of Asher, experienced soldiers prepared for battle, 40,000. And from east of the Jordan, men of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh, of every type of weapon, 120,000. All of these fighting men who volunteered to serve in the ranks, they came to Hebron, fully determined to make David king over Israel. All the rest of the Israelites were also of one mind to make David king. The men spent 3 days there with David, eating and drinking, for their families had supplies, provisions for them, also their neighbors from as far away as Izar, Zebulun, and Naphtali came bringing food and donkeys, camels, mules, and oxen. There were plenty of supplies of flour, fig cakes, raisin cakes, wine, oil, cattle, and sheep, for there was joy in Israel.
Man, I'm hungry, man. Talking about flour cakes and fig cakes and raisins, I'm hungry.
Nice.
Chapter 13. David conferred with each of his officers, the commanders of thousands and the commanders of hundreds. And he then said to the whole assembly of Israel, if it seems good to you, and if it is the will of the Lord, our God, let us send word far and wide to the rest of our people throughout the territories of Israel, and also to the priests and the Levites who are with them and in their towns and pasture lands, to come and join us. Let us bring the ark of God back to us, for we did not inquire of it during the reign of Saul. The whole assembly agreed to do this because it seemed right to all the people. So David assembled all Israel from the Shihor River in Egypt to Lebo Hamath to bring the ark of God from Kiriath Jearim. And David and all the Israel went to Bahala of Judah, Kiriath Jearim, to bring up from there the ark of the God of the Lord, who is enthroned between the cherubim and the ark that is called by the name. They moved the ark of God from Abinadab's house on a new cart, with Uzziah and Ahio guarding it. David and all the Israelites were celebrating with all their might before God, with songs and with harps and lyres and timbrels and cymbals and trumpets. And when it came to the threshing floor of Kidon, Uzziah reached out his hand to steady the ark because the oxen stumbled, and the Lord's anger burned against Uzziah, and he struck him down because he had put his hand on the ark. So he died there before God. And then David was angry because the Lord's wrath had broken out against Uzziah, and to this day that place is called Perez Uzzah. David was afraid of God that day and asked, "Oh, how can I ever bring the ark of God to me?" He did not take the ark to be with him in the city of David. Instead, he took it to the house of Obed-Edom, the Gittite. And the ark of God remained with the family of Obed-Edom in his house for 3 months. And the Lord blessed his household and everything he had. Chapter 14. Now Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David along with the cedar logs, stonemasons, and carpenters to build a palace for him. And David knew that the Lord had established him as king over Israel, and that his kingdom had been highly exalted for the sake of his people Israel. in Jerusalem, David took more wives and became the father of more sons and daughters. These are the names of the children born to him there: Shammua, Shobab, Nathan, Solomon, Ibahar, Elishua, Eliphet, Nogah, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Belida, and Eliphat. And when the Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over all Israel, they went up in full force to search for him, but David heard about it, and he went out to meet them. Now the Philistines who come and raided the valley of Rephaim, so David inquired of God, shall I go and attack the Philistines? Will you deliver them into my hands? And the Lord answered, go, I will deliver them into your hands. So David and his men went up to Baal Perazim, and there he defeated them. He said, as waters break out, God has broken out against my enemies by my hand. So that place was called Baal Perazim. The Philistines had abandoned their gods there, and David gave orders to burn them in the fire. Once more, the Philistines raided the valley. So David inquired of God again, and God answered him, do not go directly after them, but circle around them and attack them in front of the poplar trees. As soon as you hear the sound of the marching in the tops of the poplar trees, move out to battle, because that will mean God has gone out in front of you to strike the Philistine army. So David did as God commanded him, and they struck down the Philistine army all the way from Gibeon to Gezer. So David's fame throughout every land, and the Lord made all the nations fear him. Chapter 15. After David had constructed buildings for himself in the city of David, he prepared a place for the ark of God and pitched a tent for it. And then David said, no one but the Levites may carry the ark of God, because the Lord chose them to carry the ark of the Lord and to minister before him forever. David assembled all the Israel in Jerusalem to bring up the ark of the Lord to the place he had prepared for it. He called together the descendants of Aaron and the Levites, and from the descendants of Kohath, Uriel, the leader, and 120 relatives, and from the descendants of Merari, Azariah, the leader, and 220 relatives, from the descendants of Gershom, Joel, the leader, and 130 relatives, and from the descendants of Elizaphan, Shemaiah, the leader, had 200 relatives, from the descendants of Hebron, Eliel, the leader, and 80 relatives, and from the descendants of Uziel, Aminadab, the leader, and 112 relatives. And then David summoned Zadok and Abiathar, the priests, and Uriah, Isaiah, Joel, Shemaiah, Eliel, and Aminadab, the Levites. And he said to them, you are the heads of the Levitical families. You and your fellow Levites are to consecrate yourselves and bring up the ark of the Lord, the God of Israel, to the place I have prepared for it. It was because you and the Levites did not bring it up the first time that the Lord our God broke out in anger against us. We did not inquire of him about how to do it in the prescribed way. So the priests and the Levites consecrated themselves in order to bring up the ark of the Lord, the God of Israel. And the Levites carried the ark of God with poles on their shoulders, as Moses had commanded, in accordance with the word of the Lord. And David told the leaders of the Levites to appoint their fellow Levites as musicians to make joyful sound with musical instruments, lyres and harps and cymbals. And so the Levites appointed Herman, son of Joel, from his relatives, Asaph, son of Berkanah, and from the relatives of the Merarites, Ethan, son of Kusiah, and with them their relatives, next in rank, Zechariah, Jaziel, Shemiramoth, Jehiel, Uni, Eliab, Benaiah, Matthiah, Mathaniah, Eliphahu, Milcaniah, Obed-Edom, and Jeriel, the gatekeepers. The musicians, Herman, Heman, Asphah, and Ethan were to sound the bronze cymbals. Zechariah, Jaziel, and Shemiramoth, Jehiel, Uni, Eliab, Matthiah, and Benaiah were to play the lyres according to Alamoth. And Mathena, Eliphahu, Milcaniah, Obed-Edom, Jael, and Azazith were to play the harps, directing according to the Sheminith. Kenaniah, the head of the Levite, was in charge of the singing. That was his responsibility because he was skillful at it. And Berechiah and Elkanah were to be doorkeepers for the ark. Shebaniah, Jehoshaphat, and Nathaniel, Amasai, Zechariah, Benaniah, and Eleazar, the priests, were to blow trumpets before the ark of God. And Obed-Edom and Jehiah were also to be doorkeepers for the ark. So David and the elders of Israel and the commanders of units of 1,000 went to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord from the house of Obed-Edom with rejoicing, because God had helped the Levites who were carrying the ark of the covenant of the Lord. 7 bulls and 7 rams were sacrificed. Now David was clothed in a robe of fine linen, as were all the Levites who were carrying the ark, and as were the musicians, and Kenaniah, who was in charge of the singing of the choirs. David also wore a linen ephod. So all Israel brought up the ark of the covenant of the Lord with shouts and the sounding of ram's horns and trumpets and cymbals and the playing of lyres and harps. And as the ark of the covenant of the Lord was entering the city of David, Michal, son of Saul, watched from a window. And when she saw King David dancing and celebrating, she despised him in her heart. Chapter 16. They brought the ark of the God and set it inside the tent that David had pitched for it, and they presented burnt offerings and fellowship offerings before God. After David had finished sacrificing the burnt offerings and the fellowship offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord. And then he gave a loaf of bread, a cake of dates, and a cake of raisins to each Israelite man and woman. He appointed some of the Levites to minister before the ark of the Lord, to extol, to thank, and praise the Lord, the God of Israel. Asaph was the chief, and next to him in rank were Zechariah, then Jaziel, Shemiramoth, Jehiel, Matthiah, Eliab, Benaniah, Obed-Edom, and Jehiel. They were to play the lyres and the harps, and Asaph was to sound the cymbals, and Benaniah and Jahaziel, the priests, were to blow the trumpets regularly before the ark of the covenant of God. That day, David first appointed Asaph and his associates to give praise to the Lord in this manner. Give praise to the Lord, proclaim his name, make known among the nation what he has done. Sing to him, sing praise to him, tell of all his wonderful acts. Glory in his holy name. Let the hearts of those who seek the Lord rejoice. Look to the Lord and his strength. Seek his face always. Remember the wonders he has done, his miracles and the judgment he pronounced. You, his servants, the descendants of Israel, his chosen ones, the children of Jacob. He is the Lord our God. His judgments are in all the earth. He remembers his covenant forever, the promise he made for 1,000 generations, the covenant he made with Abraham, the oath he swore to Isaac. He confirmed it to Jacob. as a decree. As a decree to Israel, as an everlasting covenant. To you I will give the land of Canaan as the portion you will inherit. And when they were but few in number, few indeed, and strangers in it, they wandered from nation to nation, from one kingdom to another. He allowed no one to oppress them. For their sake he rebuked kings. Do not touch my anointed ones. Do my prophets no harm. Sing to the Lord, all the earth. Proclaim his salvation day after day. Declare his glory among the nations, his marvelous deeds among all peoples. For great is the Lord, and most worthy of praise. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Splendor and majesty are before him. Strength and joy are in his dwelling place. Ascribe to the Lord, all you families of nations. Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory due his name. Bring an offering and come before him. Worship the Lord in the splendor of his holiness. Tremble before him, all the earth. The world is firmly established. It cannot be moved. Let the heavens rejoice. Let the earth be glad. Let them say among the nations, the Lord reigns. Let the sea resound and all is in it. Let the fields be jubilant and everything in them. Let the trees of the forest sing. Let them sing for joy before the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Cry out, save us, God our Savior. Gather us and deliver us from the nations, that we may give thanks to your holy name and glory in your praise. Praise be to the God of Israel, from everlasting to everlasting. And then all the people said, Amen, and praise the Lord. David left Asaph and his associates before the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord to minister there regularly according to each day's requirements. He also left Obed-Edom and his 68 associates to minister with them. Obed-Edom's son Jeduthun and also Hosea were gatekeepers. David left Zadok, the priest, and his fellow priests before the tabernacle of the Lord at the high place in Gibeon to present burnt offerings to the Lord on the altar of burnt offerings regularly, morning and evening, in accordance with everything written in the law of the Lord, which he had given Israel. With them were Heman and Jeduthun, and the rest of those chosen and designated by name to give thanks to the Lord, for his love endures forever. Heman and Jeduthun were responsible for sounding of the trumpets and the cymbals, and for playing of the other instruments for sacred song. The sons of Jeduthun were stationed at the gate. And then all the people left, each for their own home, and David returned home to bless his family. Thanks, brother.
We continue in 1 Chronicles chapter 17. After David was settled in his palace, he said to Nathan the prophet, "Here I am, living in a palace of cedar, while the ark of the covenant of the Lord is under a tent." Nathan replied to David, "Whatever you have in mind, do it, for God is with you." That night the word of God came to Nathan, saying, "Go and tell my servant David, this is what the Lord says. You are not the one to build me a house to dwell in. I have not dwelled in a house from the day I brought Israel up from Egypt to this day. I have moved from one tent site to another, from one dwelling place to another. Wherever I have moved with all the Israelites, did I ever say to any of their leaders, whom I command to shepherd my people, why have you not built me a house of cedar? Now then, tell my servant David, this is what the Lord Almighty says. I took you from the pasture, from the following the flock, to be a ruler over my people Israel.
I have been with you wherever you have gone, and I've cut off your enemies from before you. Now I will make your name like the names of the greatest men of earth, and I will provide a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, so that they will have a home of their own, and no longer be disturbed. Wicked people will not oppress them anymore, and as they did at the beginning, and have done ever since the time I appointed leaders over my people Israel. I will also subdue all your enemies. I declare to you that the Lord will build a house for you. When your days are over and you go to be with your fathers, I will raise up your offspring to succeed you. One of your sons, I will establish his kingdom. He is the one who will build a house for me, and I will establish his throne forever. I will be his father, and he will be my son. I will never take my love away from him, and I took it away from your predecessors. I will set him over my house and my kingdom forever. His throne will be established forever. Nathan reported to David all the words of the entire revelation. Then King David went in and sat before the Lord, and he said, Who am I, O Lord God, and what is my family, that you have brought me this far? And as if this were not enough in your sight, O God, you have spoken about the future of my house of your servant. You have looked on me as though I were the most exalted of men, O Lord God. What more can David say to you for honoring your servant? For you know your servant, O Lord. For the sake of your servant and according to your will, you have done this great thing and have made known all these great promises. There is no one like you, O Lord. There is no one God but you. As we have heard with our own ears, as with is like your people Israel, the one nation on earth whose God went out to redeem a people for himself, to make a name for yourself, and to perform great and awesome wonders by driving out nations from before your people, whom you redeemed from Egypt. You have made your people Israel your very own forever, and you, O Lord, have become their God. And now, Lord, let the promise you have made concerning your servant and his house be established forever. Do as you promised, so that it will be established and that your name will be great forever. Then men will say, The Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, is Israel's God, and the house of your servant David will be established before you. You, my God, have revealed to your servant that you will build a house for him. So your servant has found courage to pray to you. O Lord, you are God. You have promised these good things to your servant. Now you have been pleased to bless the house of your servant, that it may continue forever in your sight. For you, O Lord, have blessed it, and it will be blessed forever. Chapter 18. In the course of time, David defeated the Philistines and subdued them. And he took Gath and surrounded the villages from control of the Philistines. David also defeated the Moabites, and they became subject to him and brought tribute. Moreover, David fought Izar, king of Zobah, as far as Namath, when he went to establish his control along the Euphrates. David captured 1,000 of his chariots, 7,000 charioteers, and 20,000 foot soldiers. He hamstrung all but 100 of the chariot horses. When the Arameans of Damascus came to help Hadakezar, king of Zobah, David struck down 22,000 of them. He put garrisons in the Aramean kingdoms of Damascus, and the Arameans became subjects to him and brought tribute. The Lord gave David victory everywhere he went. David took the gold shields by the officers of Hadadezzer and brought them to Jerusalem. From Tabbath and Kun, towns that belonged to Hadadezzer, David took a great quantity of bronze, which Solomon used to make bronze sea, the pillars of various bronze articles. When Tuo, king of Hamath, heard that David had defeated the entire army of Hadadezzer, king of Zobah, he sent his son Hadoram to King David to greet him and congratulate him on his victory in battle over Hadadezzer, who had been at war with Tuo. Hadoram bought all kinds of articles of gold, silver, and bronze. King David dedicated these articles to the Lord, as he had done with the silver and gold he had taken from all the nations, Edom and Moab, Ammonites and Philistines and Amalek. Abishai, son of Zerah, struck down 18,000 Edomites in the valley of Salt. He put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became subject to David. The Lord gave victory everywhere he went. David reigned over Israel, doing what was just and right for all the people. Joab, son of Zeruiah, was over the army. Jehoshaphat, son of Elod, was the recorder. Zadok, son of Abtub, and Amalek, son of Ebithar, were priests. Jusa was secretary. Benah, son of Jeroham, was over the Kerethites and Pelethites. And David, son of, were chief officers at the king's side. Well, that
We
will.
got 3 minutes, so.
We got 3 minutes, so we're going to call it an evening there at 19. So in 2 weeks, we will be back doing First Chronicles 19. But thankfully, we've got some new readers that came through while we were reading tonight. So we've got some new readers. And please, 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 if the Lord lays it on your heart to come and read, you can't screw up names any worse than I did.
Oh, me?
Yeah, and these are people in Holy Scriptures, and I was butchering them names. When I see you in heaven, please forgive me. I didn't mean to. I just don't read that well. But we love you. We thank you for tuning in. The nights, Tuesday nights, just go by.
Yeah,
so
they
fast,
very
so fast. And so we appreciate you guys being here, and we pray blessings on you this evening. And we thank you. Good night.
God bless you.